Good morning. It's Wednesday, June 20th. As you've probably noticed, both Morgan and Krista have been slackers lately. They haven't been posting any videos. Morgan's missed 2, I think, and Krista missed 1, and I am the only one who's done all of her videos. And that makes me happy because I didn't think I'd be the only one getting her videos done. I thought I'd actually be the one missing the most. It's okay, it's understandable because Morgan is trapped somewhere in the south with no internet access. Krista just graduated from college, so that's really cool, and happy graduation, Krista. So I forgive you for not doing your videos because you have perfectly good reason. So today actually might go a little bit long, over 5 minutes, because of the 3 missed videos we have 15 minutes of time that wasn't made up. So this will probably be a little bit longer than 5 minutes because I have such a good story to tell too. So I promised in the last video to tell you guys how my trip to Seattle went. Let's get started. I have some cool stuff to tell you. Yeah, cool stuff. You may be wondering now why I'm wearing this utterly ridiculous jacket. It's rather silly, but I love it, and I will get to that in a little bit. So I went up to Seattle last weekend, to go see the band Brite Futures, which formerly Natalie Portman Shaved Head, and they're one of my favorite bands. And sadly, like a couple weeks ago, they announced that they were going to break up as a band, and it was okay because it wasn't sort of because they grew tired of each other or making music or anything. It's just they wanted to move on to other projects and do other cool stuff. And I mean, I get that, you know, bands get to that place, and let's hope OK Go never does, because I was so sad this weekend. It would be just that feeling times 1,000 if OK Go eventually breaks up or just stops doing stuff, and I'd feel so sad. I went up to Seattle Saturday morning, and I went to see the Experience Music Project, and I went to Pike Place, and that was really good. Anyway, the Experience Music Project is like a museum based on music, obviously, and I think it was founded by Jimi Hendrix, and or in his memory or something. And there's a bunch of exhibits. They had a Jimi Hendrix exhibit, which I actually didn't go into. There was a Nirvana one. That was really cool. And then there was a horror movie exhibit, which was really cool. It was the lure of the horror movie. And then they had a science fiction Hall of Fame exhibit. And then finally, at the end of the exhibit, there was an Imperial Dalek from the 1986 or 1987 invasion of the Daleks, I think. I don't remember what it's called, but it was something of the Daleks. And so I got a bunch of pictures of the Imperial Dalek, and that was really cool. So I guess now it's time to tell you about the Brite Futures show. So I met up with my friends around 6. I think the show was at 7:30. So we waited in line for a couple hours because there were some issues at the venue apparently, so we got in around 8 rather than 7:30. So we got in, and they were actually giving away free sunglasses. So that was really cool. It's just kind of unfortunate for me because since I wear glasses, I can't wear regular sunglasses. I have to have prescription ones, and so all of my friends are like wearing theirs, and if I put mine on, I wouldn't have been able to see anything because these are such strong prescription glasses that I just need to, you know, be able to see things, I guess. It's important to see things. There was a sign on the door that said gay topless techno dance party, and so we were all a little bit confused by that. They finally opened the doors and we all rushed in, and I got right up to the front, which was really cool, with my friends. And then we actually sat there for like another hour until 9 o'clock, and then one of the band members comes on with like a turntable, and then they actually announced that their opening band, Gay Topless Techno Dance Party, had been stuck at the Canadian border. So they just DJ'd for a while, and it was hilarious because they were DJing, but it wasn't really DJing because they would just put on a song and sort of like hunch over their, like, the iMac like turntable setup and just kind of like click things, but it never actually did anything. So it was really hilarious because it was like the worst DJing I've ever seen, but somehow it was really, really fun. They put balloons into the crowd, apparently to keep us occupied for the hour and a half we stood there. It was like an hour and a half to 2 hours that we stood there waiting for something to happen. And so they put balloons in the crowd, and like everybody had Sharpies with them to get them to sign stuff. So people obviously, naturally, as teenagers do, started drawing dicks all over everything. And then finally, once all the balloons had been defaced with genitalia, they finally came on and they played a bunch of their best songs, they played a bunch of their new songs, and then about halfway through, they actually left the stage, and they turned on the time. They were like, "We're gonna go back in time," and so they turned on a time machine, and all the lights flashed, and it sort of went through an oral history of their band. That was really cool. And they came back on wearing all white and wearing sort of dumb jackets and fringy shirts and stuff. And their banner on the back of the stage said Natalie Portman shaved head still, so that was really cool. It's a bit of a blast from the past. And so then they played a bunch of stuff, and I played tambourine because they dropped the tambourine right in front of me, and I was like, I'm definitely going to take that, opportunity, and I played tambourine. I played it really well because I'm musically inclined, and the singer Sean actually sort of looked down at me and he's like, "Oh, good tambourine playing." I was like, "Yay, thanks." I don't really have a lot to say about the actual concert itself. It was really good because they were all really happy and into it. And they played one of the first songs that they ever recorded called 80 Packs of Fruit Snacks. And it's a rap about fruit snacks. And it's really good. Man, and then it was just over. It was so sad. Like, the girl next to me was bawling her eyes out halfway through. And I wasn't crying, but it was just, God, it's the worst feeling when one of your favorite bands just breaks up. And I don't think I was experiencing it then, but yesterday I was driving in the car to go see the Avengers, and I put on Brite Futures, and it's just like, they're never gonna make anything ever again, and it's just so sad because they were so good. I urge everyone who watches this video blog, which is probably not a lot of you, but I urge all of you to go listen to Brite Futures or Natalie Portman Shaved Head. So the concert was over and everyone sort of cleared out because it was like Mordor in there. It was so hot. They were kind of just wandering around, and I actually went up and grabbed a drumstick from where it was on the ground. And like all through the show they would keep bringing on water bottles, and like really nice ice cold water bottles. Like you could see the condensation on the front. That meant they were really cold. So they kept bringing those on stage, and like every time they looked away, my friends would go grab the water bottle, and so I would kind of reach over and grab their water bottles, and then they'd drink them. Like it was so hot and so sweaty in there that we were stealing water from the band. And they'd kind of like taken off all their clothes, so there was like jackets and shirts lying everywhere. I mean, they didn't take off all their clothes because that's weird, but they had left a bunch of stuff everywhere, and so I actually went up and grabbed a wife beater that I decided not to take because that's a little bit weird. The band from the side, they were kind of standing around, hugging people, like all their friends backstage. And so they came out and we started chatting them up, and they all thought it was really impressive that we had driven, like 4 hours to come see them. And I got them to sign my sunglasses, and I got some hugs. That was really nice. They're good. They're huggable people. I just said thank you and for being just a cool band, and they thought it was really neat. That we were so invested in them, and everything got signed. And we were just kind of chatting, and they were all really nice, which is good. And then I actually went up to Luke, and then he's just sitting on the stage, and he seems really shy. Like, even though he's super excited and flamboyant on stage, he seems like a really shy guy in real life. But so I said, "Don't forget your jacket. It's really cool, and it's like one of the coolest jackets I've ever seen." And then he goes, "Do you want it?" And I said, "Can I have it?" And he said, "Yeah, here, let me just go grab it." So like, oh, okay. And so he goes and grabs this jacket from the stage, and he just brings it down and he just hands it to me. I was just dumbstruck at that point. So this is why I'm wearing this jacket. It's Luke's jacket, which is just really cool because he's just a nice guy and he's my favorite, and I don't know, he's pretty. So he gave it to me and we were just kind of chatting and stuff, and then we went outside and they were like, oh, we're gonna meet every single one of you. So we all went outside and everyone's hanging out and we were just kind of chatting, and I got pictures with everyone. I don't know, it was just a really nice night. I got the drummer to sign my drumstick, and I got Luke to sign right here. See, there's a little heart. It's nice. I'm excited. And I got them to sign my glasses, and some guy just came up to me. I was just talking to Claire, I think, who's the bassist, and she's really nice. They're all really nice. I keep saying that, but they just really are. It's really great when there's bands that are just legitimately nice, and you just enjoy talking to them. So I was talking to Claire, and this just random guy who I'd never seen, I didn't even see him at the concert, he just comes up to me and holds out a set list, a signed set list. It had the old drummer Liam, and it had Claire's signature on it. And so he just holds it out to me. I'm like, what? And he just sort of shoves it toward me, and I just kind of, okay. And I just took the set list, and he just gives me the thumbs up and just walks away. He just walked away from the venue, and it was really strange, but I have a set list. So that's neat. I had gotten everyone to sign my glasses, except for the new drummer. He just kind of disappeared, and everyone was looking for him, and I felt really bad because nobody knows who he is really. It's just Luke, Sean, and Claire, and David, and that's the 4 that you know. And I always make an effort to go say hi to the drummer, because the drummer is always forgotten. Poor Dan from OK Go, he's just always sort of oh, Damien, oh, Andy, oh, Tim, you're such a cool bassist, or whatever, and then Dan's just kind of in the corner, but Dan is he's just the nicest guy, so I always go talk to Dan. Dan is my favorite. So I wound up coming home with 2 pairs of sunglasses, a set list, a drumstick, a t-shirt, and this jacket, and all of my friends were really jealous, they couldn't believe that I had gotten Luke's jacket, and I can't believe he gave it to me, but it was just an example of how incredibly nice all of them are. So, I guess that's really it for my trip to Seattle. It was really worth it, and I don't know, it was just a really good weekend, and it was the perfect goodbye to say adios to Brite Futures, and they said they'd all be working on new stuff. I asked Luke, he wanted to keep doing music, and I applaud him for that because his music is great. It's something you want to dance to, and sadly I'll never get to dance to any new Brite Futures stuff again, but the 3 albums we have are definitely worth it. I'm gonna break the rules on time, I think, because everyone else is breaking rules, so now I'm just making up rules now. Speaking of breaking rules, since Morgan and Krista, you guys didn't post your videos this week, I have gotten together with all the people who did post their videos this week, and we unanimously decided to punish you guys. And we also unanimously decided that we're going to have you sing something. 1, it's going to be What Makes You Beautiful by One Direction, or 2, Call Me Maybe by Carly Rae Jepsen. So whoever responds to this first, or who acknowledges me or whatever, gets first pick at what song they want. This is a sort of an easy punishment because, 1, you don't have to do anything special, just sing it for me. But, it's still slightly embarrassing. And it's twofold because, 1, it's embarrassing, and 2, it sort of takes out time from your video for interesting things. Small punishment for small crime. It's an understandable absence, but now you have to do something for me. Morgan, I hope you get internet access soon, and Krista, I hope you've gotten over your hangover, so I will see you Saturday. Bye!